Donna pressed a fingertip against the frayed map, tracing the jagged line that bled into the cereal oak kingdom. Fern, Luna, and Muggs leaned in, their shadows long against the oak table. The route was clear. Within the hour, the house was silent, and the yard was busy. They hauled crates and gear into the back of the sturdy wagon. Donna grabbed the reins, Muggs checked the wheel bolts, and with a sharp pull, they were moving. The wheels crunched against the dirt path, a rhythmic, grinding sound that signaled the end of their planning and the start of the hunt. 3 days of relentless travel followed. The dry, scrubby landscape slowly gave way to a different world. The horizon opened up into vast, rolling fields of golden grain that swayed in the wind like a sea of metal. The air grew thick with the scent of harvest. As they pushed forward, the path narrowed, the wagon swaying with every rut in the road. They were deep in the kingdom now, the destination finally within their reach, though the quiet of the fields felt heavy with an unspoken tension. The palace gates creaked open to reveal Queen Cereal standing on the stone steps. She did not welcome them with ceremony. Instead, she gestured toward the fields beyond the walls. Where gold should have stood, there was only a vast expanse of crushed, lifeless stalks. The grain lay broken, flattened into the dirt as if by a heavy, invisible hand. The queen spoke, her voice thin and shaking. "Someone is destroying our harvest." The group exchanged looks. The urgency of the situation replaced their travel fatigue instantly. Muggs checked his grip on his gear, while Donna moved to the edge of the field to inspect the damage. They found the source of the trail near the tree line. Pebra Flint stood there, waiting by a flickering torch that cast long, dancing shadows across the undergrowth. He did not speak, but pointed a trembling finger toward the dark, tangled entrance of the cereal forest. Without a word, the group turned from the fields and plunged into the thick brush. The light from the sun vanished, replaced by the damp, musty air of the deep woods. They followed Pebra Flint, pushing past branches that clawed at them as they ventured deeper into the gloom. The woods finally thinned, giving way to a clearing where the air turned cold and stagnant. At the edge of the horizon, a rotting shack leaned precariously against the fading light of dusk. Its boards were warped, and the smell of dust and decay hung heavy in the evening breeze. Pebra Flint stopped abruptly, his finger shaking as he gestured toward the crooked door. The group fanned out, moving silently through the tall, flattened grass. Fern paused near a pile of pulverized grain, kicking at the debris with the toe of his boot. He looked at the others and muttered, "Looks like someone is really losing their flakes." Luna shoved his shoulder, her face hardening. "Not the time, Fern." She moved ahead, her hand resting on her weapon. They reached the threshold, the wood groaning under their weight. Donna signaled for a halt, then pushed the door open with a single, forceful motion. Inside, the dim light revealed a man standing motionless amidst mounds of ruined grain. Sir Crunchgrave turned slowly, his eyes scanning the intruders. The silence inside the shack was absolute, broken only by the settling of dust. Fern took one more step forward, hands on hips, and declared, "Looks like we found the serial killer." The tension snapped as Sir Crunchgrave tightened his grip on his weapon, his posture shifting into a lethal, coiled readiness. Luna cut through the tension with a sharp shout, but the warning came too late. Sir Crunchgrave lunged, his heavy iron flail whistling through the air. It slammed into a primary support beam, snapping the wood like a dry twig. The shack groaned, the ceiling sagging under the sudden loss of structural integrity. Dust and debris rained down, blinding the group. Muggs moved instantly, throwing his shield up to deflect the follow-up strike. The metal rang out with a deafening clang that vibrated through the floorboards. Donna lunged to the side, coordinating their counterattack. She signaled for a pincer movement, forcing the enemy toward the back wall. They moved in unison, cornering him between the splintered beams and the rotted siding. Sir Crunchgrave stood his ground, his chest heaving until he let out a sharp, piercing whistle. His form began to warp. The edges of his body blurred, turning into a swirling cloud of dry, pulverized grain. He spiraled upward, losing all physical substance. Within seconds, he vanished entirely into the floorboards. The group stood frozen, staring at the empty space where he had been only moments before. The only sound left was the wind whistling through the shattered walls of the shack. The journey back to the palace was a blur of rapid movement and heavy silence. They found Queen Cereal in the courtyard, her gaze fixed on the horizon. Dona stepped forward, breath still ragged, and recounted the fight in the shack. She described the iron flail, the collapsing beams, and the way the villain dissolved into nothingness. The queen listened, her expression unmoving, offering no explanation for the strange escape. The group eventually fell silent, the weight of the unsolved mystery settling between them. They turned away from the palace gates and walked toward the town. Their muscles ached, and every step felt like a heavy toll. They reached the local pub as the last light of day vanished. Inside, the room was dim and smelled of stale hops. They found a heavy wooden table in the corner and sank onto the benches. No one spoke. They ordered a round of drinks, the mugs clinking with a hollow sound against the wood. They sat there, limbs heavy, staring into the dark corners of the room. The memory of the dust cloud haunted the quiet. They had survived, but the threat remained, drifting somewhere just out of reach.